I'm very determined, but you are a special guest because of who you are, not who you're training.
I don't know about all that, but hey, we'll see about that. I don't know.
So let's do the formal introductions. I'm Abs of October Red. Derrick James, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the channel. Like I said, not just because of who you're training, but because you were a former fighter yourself. You understand the game and you are continuously training other fighters as well. Talk to us a little bit about that, Derrick.
I think that it's a pleasure, and I think I'm very fortunate to be in this particular space right now that I can contribute to help these young guys fulfill their personal dreams, fulfill their personal desires, and kind of help them through the angst and woes of boxing and kind of, keep them focused.
We talk about that keeping focus. Anthony Joshua, obviously coming off 2 losses to Usyk. He's obviously gone on his search for a trainer. He's come and he's found yourself. Something that I will say that I admire about you, you're not one of these kind of like Puff Daddy, one for a better word, that's jumping all in the videos and is there like cheerleading. You're sort of like professional, respectful, reserved, and kept him out the limelight.
But yeah, I mean, the reason being because I'm a part of the show. I'm not the show, right? So it's not all about me. So all it is about my instructions in the corner. So for me, really and realistically, it's his show. It's his thing. So I mean, I'm gonna sit back on the floor. I'm gonna be somewhere else because it's not. When I'm needed, I'll show up. When I'm not needed, I don't need to be there. I'm okay.
The benefits then of having him as a fighter, the trainer-fighter relationship has to be right. You have to gel. When did you realise that you two were going to make a good matchup to move forward with his career and get some positive results out the fights he will be having soon and after that?
Right. I think that, well, realistically, relationships are two-sided, right? So regardless of how I feel about a situation, he has to feel the exact same way. So I think that the gelling for me happened maybe on the first day from the conversation we had. So if you heard him say we have conversations, and the first thing that I ever asked him, and the answer that he gave me was very true and very raw, and he kept talking about, man, I couldn't believe that. But then that is just another piece of conversation and gelling. But then when we started working out, it's a whole nother different perspective, a whole nother different situation. And I think we started gelling from that as well. But that's from my perspective, right? So never knows how he feels about it. So but he would be talking and he just didn't want to stop. He'd like work out, he'd keep going and keep going and keep going. I'm like, that's enough. He's like, no, let's go one more. So it was like, so he really was, and then you say, you still don't really know because I don't know how he feels. I know what he's doing, but yeah. So it's like So, but I guess now I know we're gelling because he said it.
Over time, as your relationship grows, and I really do, this is a relationship that continues to grow, you will get to learn each other more. When you looked at Anthony Joshua as a fighter before you were his trainer, what were your initial thoughts on him as a fighter and a person?
What's funny is that when I saw him fight the first time, I liked him. I said he's a good fighter. And I said I think that he's very skilled, and I think he was the best heavyweight out there, right? But then I didn't watch a lot of boxing at the time, so I hadn't seen him fight but maybe 3 or 4 times since I saw him the first time. But my perspective of him is that he's very intellectual, very intelligent, and I think that you need that in today's sport because most fighters are working off athleticism. But to be an intellectual in a game where there's an athlete, the athlete doesn't have a chance. So that's why I would always lean towards the intellectual because he understands how to take things away from an individual and how to set up things for himself.
You talk about intellectual, you talk about the intelligence side of boxing. Can that also be a curse as well as a gift? Sometimes if you're intelligent, you constantly want to take things on. You've already said sometimes you have to say, slow down, keep a slower momentum. Where do you find the fine line with that to say, okay, we're going to learn, but I don't want to overload you with information? The reason why I ask this, Derrick, is because he has changed trainers.
Yeah, I think that, you know what, and so it's up to me, and we talked about it, it's up to me to be present and to understand what I'm giving him. It's up to me to say, okay, maybe work on this 2 days or a day, let him get this. Because at first you go from this to, it's really up to me. And it's up to me to understand and to be in tune with him as to what I feel like is very significant that he needs to know and needs to have. And if there's something that I feel like he needs to know and needs to have, then we'll push that and push that until I feel like until he gets it. But I mean, he's great. When I say intellectual, I mean he's getting it, he's understanding it, and so I'm looking for big things coming on April 1st.
Teamwork is important. You are part of a bigger team. You have other fighters. Would you say that his relationship with the other fighters that you've got on your stable is important to kind of like bring him on and motivate them, weight differences or not?
That is a great deal because I mean I think that with all of the guys gelling and Frank Martin's in the gym work and he'll talk to AJ. Errol will talk to him and kind of like, while he, like when Errol was working out yesterday, he was sitting there watching him. So it's like, so you get to see all of this and you're like, man, it's like very inspirational. You got Jamel. So you get to see these champions and these guys work on elite levels. And that's the key element to success. I believe that in order for you to be able to be something, you have to see something, right? And so he's, to get back to that, to be motivated, to be inspired, and everybody, man, way to go, way to go. Everybody's cheering each other on. That's a team effort.
We love it. As per usual, I've been cut short. It happens. But thank you so much for your time, Derrick, and hopefully I will see you fight week.
Thank you. Appreciate that, and good day. Good to meet you.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.